Good afternoon, everybody. Week 14 of the NFL Sports Talk with Ernest and Frankie. How's it going, Ernest? Happy Sunday, man.
Hey, happy Sunday. Good morning to everyone tuning in this morning. It's a good day. Last week for all fantasy season players. So last week, if you're on that 6-7 record, 7-7 record, this is your last day to make it into the playoffs, right?
That's correct. Judgment Day for many will be focused on the performance of their lineup this week. We got playoffs starting next Sunday. But let's get right into it. Week 14 of the NFL Sports Talk with Ernest and Frankie, guaranteed to give you the best advice on how to place your bets, how much money, and we focus on injury reports, lineups, weather, just a little bit of everything. Week 14 of the NFL season kicks off with the first game. The New York Jets will be traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo is favored to win by 10 points. What's your take on this game, Ernest?
Oh man, we were talking about that earlier, right? So the Jets, Mike White is coming in strong off a week. I believe who's their running back starter? Is it Carter or is it Knight?
I believe it's Knight. I believe Carter's on the injured reserve.
Okay, so I mean, everything's going to be on Knight. It's going to be on Mike White. I think this is last year. This is the game where White was his last game playing against the Bills, where he just got decimated. Bills got a good defense, but 10 points. It is a lot of points. I mean, there's another game with a lot of points on later on the schedule. So I'm going to go with the Jets on this. Jets plus 10.
Uh, I'll 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 second that, Ernest. Again, me and points. I'll always take the points, especially at the NFL level. If we remember the last time these teams met up, there's a divisional matchup. The Jets surprised the Bills on pulling off the upset. I like the Jets defense. I hope they keep it close. 10 points in the NFL to me is way too much. So I'll go ahead and take the points on this game. Another divisional matchup, Ernest, is the Browns and Bengals. The Bengals are favored to win by 4.5. The Bengals have been dominating. Last week they beat the Chiefs without Jamar Chase. We do anticipate Chase being back. I'll go ahead and take the Bengals on this one. Joe Burrow is the truth. And then again, it's a divisional matchup. So I do like the Bengals on this one with the points. What's your take?
Same thing, right? Mixon's coming back as well. I mean, we've seen what he could do as a running back. So no, it's an easy pick. I mean, yeah, you got the Browns with Amari Cooper, Peoples Jones, but Bengals and their offense, they're really starting to get in that role to work into going into playoffs and get that line straight into there. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals here, plus 4.
Now the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, Ernest, have been the truth as of late, and many have claimed that this is their best chance to make it to the Super Bowl. They will be facing off against dismal Houston Texans, and the crazy number here, Ernest, is that they are favored to win by 17 and a half points. What's your take on this one?
Oh, but that's a lot. That's a lot. That's the point. This is the game, right? The lot of point game, 17 and a half. I mean, we've seen the Cowboys do what they did to the Minnesota Vikings also last week. So I mean, and it all comes down to the defense, right? Offense, they're an average offense. It's a good offense, but who's really setting them up for everything? Their success is the defense, right? Getting that interception, putting you on that 40-yard line, making a touchdown, getting some fumbles. So it really is the defense of Cowboys that's really, making that offense pop up. And it all depends on the defense, right? If they show up, then definitely that they got those 17 and a half points. But I do there's a lot of points. You can't go that many points, so I'm gonna go with Texans plus 17 and a half.
And David Smith is correct. Take the Cowboys and give me the points. And this is the tricky one, Ernest, because again, 17 and a half points. I'm going to go with David Smith. I have the Cowboys winning. There is no denying they have an amazing defense. Their offense with Pollard, the 1-2 punch, Pollard and Zeke. CD Lamb is the truth. But again, it's 17 points. That's a little bit too much a little bit too much for myself, too rich for my blood. I'll go ahead and take the Texans with the points in 17 with 17 and a half. Again, I would even buy the 0.5, Ernest, to give me Texans plus 18. But I do anticipate the Cowboys winning on this
Oh yeah.
game.
Yeah, winning
Now,
money line, yeah, definitely. But
yeah,
17 and a half, that's too much.
again, anything could happen on any given Sunday, but we don't anticipate the Texans pulling this off against the Cowboys. Now, another impressive team in the NFC has been the Minnesota Vikings. They will be traveling to the Lions, and I always look for those games, Ernest, that don't seem right. Here you have the Minnesota Vikings, who are, is it 10-1 or 9-1, going up against the Detroit Lions. The Lions are favored to win by a field goal. What's your take on this one?
Feels like, we talked a couple of weeks ago, same thing against the Cowboys, the Vikings. It was like, what's going on? What does Vegas know, right? Why are the Cowboys favored against the Vikings when they were on a roll? Right now the Lions are on a roll, right? They seem like they're unstoppable. They started off a little bad in the season, but right now, I mean, their defense, still has a lot to work on, but their offense is just, exploding. So I'm gonna go take the Lions on this. It's a divisional, so I'm gonna go ahead and choose the Lions minus 2.5 on this.
Interesting, interesting. And again, it is a divisional matchup. Hey, and Eric is saying that the Texans will pull it off. That he will pull off
Money
the.
line?
Uh, hey, he's willing to bet big. Let me check that Cowboys game very quickly just to give an idea. I had it right now. Where is it? Dallas Cowboys. The Texans are plus 1,000. So if you put $100 on the Texans and they pull it off, Eric, you'll win $1,000. Hey, those are good odds. Hey, again, it's the NFL. Anything could happen on any given Sunday. Now, me personally, I like the Vikings. I think their offense has been very strong,
With
powerful.
Jay Jetta.
I do like their 1-2 punch of Cook and starts with an M. I forgot, but you have Cousins, you have Thielen, you got their tight end that they got from the Lions, and who could forget Justin Jefferson. This is a very tricky game, Ernest. Again, does Vegas know something we don't? I'll go ahead and take the points. I would even go Minnesota money line just because of their offense. So that strong. Now, the next game is also a divisional matchup. Jacksonville Jaguars will be traveling to the Titans. I personally, Ernest, would buy the 0.5. That way, the Tennessee Titans could win by a field goal. So I'll go ahead and take the Titans -3, buying the half a point. What's your take on this game?
Yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, I would have said a little bit more on the upside of Titans. Give them +5, +6. I mean, I don't. Jags have been, this is their year to let them know where they're at the season, right? Going future with Lawrence, and I think they're doing it. They're finding themselves in a rhythm. I believe next year they could go, 8, 9, 10 victories next year. But right now, the Titans with Henry, you just can't stop him, right? He's a force to reckon with, and 3.5 is not a lot, so I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans at 3.5.
Nice. Now, a next game, another divisional matchup. The Eagles will be traveling to the Meadowlands. They are favored to win by 7.5 points. Now, Barkley. Barkley is questionable to start. I think that's why earlier I last checked the spread last night, Ernest. The Eagles were favored to win by a touchdown. But now I think since Barkley is questionable to start for the Giants, I think that Vegas gave the Giants 0.5. I'll go ahead and take the points. A divisional matchup. I expect this to be close. Again, I understand the Eagles are a high-powered offense, and they are Super Bowl favorites. There's no denying that, Ernest. But I'll go ahead and take the points on this one. I'll go ahead and take the Giants +7.5. What's your take?
Yeah, that's interesting, right? If Barkley's out, I mean, that's one of the greatest. That's their offense, Barkley. So if he's not playing, then who's going to be scoring those touchdowns, right? And the Eagles, well, I mean, the 11-1, who could argue with them putting up points, right? So I'm gonna go with Philadelphia on this, man. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia and with -7.5.
Damn, taking the Super Bowl favorites. Now, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is hurt. He injured his knee last week against the Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. Tyler Huntley will be suiting up and starting in this game. The Ravens will be traveling to Pittsburgh, where the Steelers with their rookie quarterback, is favored to win by 2.5. What's your take on this AFC North matchup?
Oh, this is, I like this game, right? Finally, like you mentioned, Jackson's out. We don't know how long he's going to be out for, hopefully before playoffs. But -2 for Steelers. I mean, man, Lamar Jackson does make that really big difference. But Huntley, when he came in, he did decent. I don't think he was bad. He's going up against as well the Steelers, right? Rookie quarterback on Pickett. They're still working things out. But Ravens got Andrews, right? I mean, if he could just find Andrews, just give it to him. Andrews going to do some magic with it. So I'm going to have the Ravens on this going forward with +2 Ravens.
Interesting pick. I'll go ahead and take the Steelers at home. Their defense is hungry. They are fighting for a playoff spot. They are fighting for a wild card spot in the tough AFC division. I'll go ahead and take the Steelers in a close game, but I do see them having secure the victory late in the game. A field goal sounds about right. Now, the Broncos for whatever reason haven't been able to gain that Russell Wilson magic. The Chiefs will be traveling to Denver, and the Chiefs are favored to win by 9.5. I'll go ahead and take the Chiefs, Ernest, with the points. Again, you know how I love the points, but the Broncos, they just don't have that offensive magic this year. What's your take on this game?
Yeah, and it all comes down to Wilson, right? I mean, I don't know if you've seen these memes on Twitter where they compare, the house that Wilson bought there in Denver. He's got a pretty big house with 12 restrooms, 12 toilets in his house. And they compared every week to week. He's only got 7 touchdowns. He's got more restrooms in his house than he scored touchdowns. So I mean, it all comes down to his performance. What is he doing? Is he there just to get that money? Trying to get paid? Chiefs, they're looking for that, for that contender to go into the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chiefs on this -9.5.
Interesting, my man. Very interesting matchup. Now, I hate picking against Tom Brady. The Buccaneers will be
Ooh.
traveling to Levi Stadium and facing the Niners. The Niners are favored to win by a field goal. We have a third-string quarterback. Jimmy G did break his ankle, fractured his ankle last week. Would you bet against Tom Brady? I know I wouldn't. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bucs +3. Would you vote against Tom Brady with a third-string quarterback, Ernest?
Yeah, well, I mean, what's his name? Brody, something?
Brody.
Brody. He did pretty good once he came in. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he got that defense in his face, and he was able to make those passes. He knew that he was gonna get hit, and he took it like a champ. So, -3 is not a lot for a third quarterback. If this was Jimmy G, it'd probably be -7.5. So, and they still got an offense. You still got CMC there with you, which you could just, here you go, run, right? So I'm gonna go with the 49ers -3 on this.
Interesting. I learned very quickly never to bet against against Timmy Brady. Now, the surprise team of this year so far has been the Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith. They've been competitive in their division. They will be facing the Panthers, and Seattle is favored to win by 4. I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers on this one, on the shocker of the week. I think Kenneth Walker for the rookie running back for the Seahawks is not going to play. They do have their third string running back, which I picked up, and I will be starting him. But I don't see the Panthers winning today's game. I'll go ahead and take the points. Panthers +4. Ernest?
Who's their running back 3? DJ Dallas?
I just acquired him. Let me see. I just acquired him this past week. His name is Homer.
Homer.
Oh, man.
You know what? I mean, It was the big surprise, when Walker took over as well. Boom, he exploded. Everybody picked him up. Seahawks do have a solid, it's Pete Carroll. He's really good at the offense. Panthers aren't just finding their way, offensively, defensively, they're pretty good. But and they're playing at in Seattle, right? Everybody always complains. Players complain about going to Seattle and not hearing, getting that 12th man. So I'm gonna go with Seahawks on this -4.
Interesting, interesting. Now the Dolphins. The Dolphins will be traveling to LA and facing the Chargers. Sunday night
Ooh,
football. Miami is favored to win by 3.5. High powered offense. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna buy the 0.5 Ernest to guarantee me if the Dolphins win by 3, I get my money back. I anticipate that it should be a high scoring matchup between these two stud quarterbacks. I'm gonna buy the 0.5 and I'll take the Dolphins -3. What's your take?
-3. This is interesting. This is one of those, I mean, I think it's too much. I think it should have been like -1, not 3.5. Because I do see that, the Dolphins going in and scoring. They got that potential. Chargers as well. I mean, Herbert's a really good player. You got Eckler. I mean, it's a tough matchup. But they're at home. I'm always going to take that, with a low scoring game like that. I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers on this +3.5.
Interesting, interesting. Now, Monday Night Football, the Patriots and the Cardinals. The New England is favored to win by 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and take these two teams. Both suck, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and take the Patriots just because of Bill Belichick. I think he is going to create a scheme that is going to frustrate Kyler Murray. Their offense, the Cardinals' offense, hasn't been what we're used to seeing them as of late. I'll go ahead and take the Patriots on this game.
Exactly what you said. Everybody expected, the Cardinals to be better after last year. Murray to be, that Mahomes Tua type, but something happened, right? And Bill Belichick, well, he's just a master at defense. So I mean, if everybody's, containing Kyle Murray and their offense, Bill Belichick does not have a problem with it. So I'm gonna go with exactly the same thing. Patriots -1.5.
Nice. And our friend Jerry here says, please tell me you don't say that the Patriots suck.
No, man, no, they don't. I mean,
no, they're legit. They're legit, but the quarterback, what's his name? Mac Jones.
man, Mac Jones,
He hasn't been consistent, Ernest. Last year he had
he what?
a good, a good rookie season, and we anticipated that he would use that first season and catapult him to be, competitive.
Better. Yep.
And for this year, what's his name? Zeli came in.
Yeah, Zappy.
Came in. Zabdi came in his place and did well. The team wins and loses because of the quarterback. I expected more from Mac Jones. That's the only reason, my man, Jerry. That's the only reason why I say that they suck. But Zappy, in my opinion, is better. But we have Mac Jones,
Bill Belichick,
in his place.
Belichick sees something in Mac Jones. I mean, he is really good, and Belichick, at the end of the day, he makes the decision. And if their defense is working, Mac Jones, they're investing a lot of time in Mac Jones. So, or hopefully that's what we think. Let's see what happens at the end of the season. Kind of like that Zappy, like Cooper Rush, right? Zappy was good, Cooper Rush was good, but you're investing your money in that quarterback one, right? So that's how the way right now it's working. But yeah. Good picks. See how we do. Any lock of the week? What is it?
Now, the last segment of the show is the locks of the week. This are the games, guys, in which we feel confident in saying that this is where you should focus on. Again, we do our research. You need to do your research. NFL locks of the week for Sports Talk. To me, I have 2 games, Ernest, that I'm looking at. The first game is obviously the Lions. They are 10-1 going into a divisional matchup against the Lions. This to me is a pick 'em. So I'll go ahead and take the Vikings on this game. And the other one, if I could go very quickly, and then I'll let you give your lock of the week. The other one, Ernest, is the Texans. 17
Oh
and a
my
half
God.
points is a lot of points. And the reason why I say this is because look at this. The Texans haven't lost by more than by more than, what is it, 13 points, 16
15.
points, 15 points. So again, could it happen? Yes, the Cowboys are capable of beating them by 3 touchdowns, but it's the NFL, it's Vegas. To me, that's always a trippy number whenever you see 17.5 points. So I'll go ahead and take my locks of the week of being the Texans, 17.5, and the Vikings with the victories on this one. What's your lock of the week?
Yeah, I mean, if we're choosing two, because I mean, one is pretty obvious, exactly what you just said on the Texans Cowboys game. I don't think they could. 79 points.
They're capable of putting up 79.
They are, but there's also a mercy rule, right? If they're beating by 30 on the fourth quarter, they're not going to score. They're just going to run the ball, right? So, and I think that's what's gonna happen if they come down to the fourth quarter and they're up by 30 points, 20 points. They're just gonna put in the brakes, have Houston try to score, and that's what's gonna end up happening, right? They'll probably win by 2 touchdowns, 14 points, 17 points at the most. So that's why that half point is great. That's an obvious pick, lock of the week. So if we're going with another one, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Ravens +2 on this because they're still a good team, and Huntley's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, he could take over. The negotiation with Andrews. With Jackson not getting a contract until the end of the season, this could be definitive, right? If Huntley could make that team work with him, he could see himself being that QB1 and Jackson finding another home. So this is definitely one of those games where Huntley has to prove himself, and +2 points. I mean, you just got to win, right? So I think they could do it.
There you have it, guys. Locks of the week. Again, we focus on giving you games that we feel confident in. We've done our research. Now it's time for you to do your research. You have an hour and a half to lock in your picks. Sports Talk with Ernest and Frankie, guaranteed to give you the best advice. We focus on lineups, injury reports, Adam Schefter's tweeting, what the players ate, just about everything to make sure that you have the information needed to make your picks. That way you can gain some money. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope to see you next Sunday. Make sure you change your fantasy lineups, guys, because this is we are in playoff mode this week or next week. Thanks so much for your time and your attention. See you guys here next Sunday. Peace out, Ernest.
Have a great day.